Well, hello everyone. My name is Matt, and I'm the Youth and Family Pastor at Cornerstone Church in Marshfield, and I'm here today with your Cornerstone Connection, a daily devotional. So I want to say a word, and when I say this word, I wonder what feelings well up in your heart when I say this word. The word is this: debt. Debt. It's possible, as it did many years ago now, but it's possible when I said that word debt, there was just a heavy feeling for some of you. It's possible that you're just kind of cringing when you hear that word debt because it's been a weighty thing in your life, perhaps. And I don't know where you're at financially, but I recall it was years back now when my wife and I had a decent amount of debt that we owed, and that was mainly to my student loans. And I remember when we finally paid off that debt, and I think we had some medical debt, and other than our home, we were finally debt free. And we experienced so much freedom, and so much so that we haven't wanted to go back into debt anymore because we don't want to owe debt on anything. And perhaps you found yourself there, and perhaps you're in a place, as I said that word today, and you're going, yeah, I feel the weight, I feel the burden of financial debt in my life. Well, here's why I bring this up. It's not to do a seminar on getting rid of your financial debt, though it'd be great if we all did that, right? But the reason I bring that up is because today in Romans chapter 13, the verses that I'm going to share with you, the Apostle Paul brings up debt. And he actually tells us, as the believer in Christ, he says, you know what? There is actually one debt that I want you to keep in your life forever. And, you just hearing that, you might go, what? Like, the Apostle Paul is telling us to have a debt in our life? Well, let's see exactly what he says in verses 8 to 10 in Romans chapter 13. Follow me there. He says, let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt to love one another. For he who loves his fellow man has fulfilled the law. The commandments: do not commit adultery, do not murder, do not steal, do not covet, and whatever other commandment there may be are summed up in this one rule: love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no harm to its neighbor, therefore love is the fulfillment of the law. Paul says, as it pertains to debts, I don't want you to have one that remains outstanding, but there is one debt, and it's the debt to love people. It's the debt to love your neighbor that can remain outstanding in your life here on earth forever. And it will. We will always have that debt. There's always going to be room for you and I as believers in Christ to love the people who are around us. And it can be a hard thing to do, right? I mean, loving our neighbor as ourselves, that's counter to our flesh. That's counter to our nature. It's hard for me to love people as I love myself. Think about that. And I remember teaching about this one night at youth group with our students. And one of the things that the Lord helped me convey that night to make it make sense is, in order for us to love our neighbor as ourselves, in order for us to fulfill person by person this debt that will remain outstanding in our lives, we have to be the man. What do I mean by that? I mean this, that when we have those people in our lives that are around us and they need the love of Christ, we need to put ourselves literally in their shoes in order to love them as we love ourselves. It's empathy, right? We need to literally put ourselves in their place so that we can love them as we love ourselves. Friends, this feels weird to say, but I hope you are encouraged and challenged by the debt that will always remain in your life as a follower of Christ. And my prayer today is that as you go about your day, and you see those people around you, that you can love as you love yourself. Take one small step towards them and allow God to use you in order to love that person. Have a great day, friends. We'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection.